Hey everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. This is the Talk Real podcast. I am your host, Tanyelle. Happy to be back. I am here with an amazing guest. Big up yourself.
Vigga V, well, thank you for having me. I appreciate that, man.
Yes.
Much love for the pod.
Thank you so much for coming. You made it.
I did. You know, London traffic's a bit mad, but yeah, I'm here.
It is. Good to have you. So just quickly tell everyone about just who you are and what you do.
That's a very interesting question. I'm Vigga V. I do my own podcast, YouTube on the side. Catch me on Vigga V TV on all platforms. Instagram, follow me. Vigga V TV. I haven't done much in a while, but I'm in loads of podcasts and I like to speak just the truth, really. The truth is taboo nowadays, so I like to just speak it how it is.
Speaking the truth is a must.
It's a must. No, we say that, but some people like to lie.
Sadly, but it is a must though. Gotta talk the truth, 100%. Okay, well, thank you for, like I said, coming on. Go and follow him. Obviously, afterwards, I'm gonna tag him, so all of you can go and follow him. So let's begin. We're waiting for our other guests come in, but let's get into it.
Yes.
Okay, so the topic I have, are you ready for it?
Let's do it, man.
Breakdown in communication between men and women.
Key. Yeah.
What causes it and why?
That's very deep, and I think the rule for me, from personal experiences, is that a lot of men and women's expectations are very different, and what we're fed in social media is very different. So, a lot of people haven't got the experience of a relationship and the reality of it. I always say to people, they like the idea of a relationship, but never the reality of it. So, communication is always based on your perspective. Always say, before you get into a relationship, talk about what can I compromise on and what will I not compromise on.
Yeah.
So people get into a relationship for the idea, so they're not willing to compromise or find out what the uncompromisables are. So the breakdown comes in when you don't know their expectation, you don't know his expectation. Yeah. In my opinion. So that's the main basis of it, but it goes deeper, but we'll get into that.
It does. No, I agree with you. I feel like getting into a relationship with someone is something that people sometimes just have just for a title, just because it looks good, because it just sounds good. Oh, I've got a boyfriend, or I've got a girlfriend. It's something that it's not a joke. I feel like some people just don't take it seriously. I feel like when getting into a relationship, you need to get to know the person. You need to get to know their mind. What are their triggers, what they like, what they don't like. And it's got to work both ways. For women, and obviously for men, you need to know. I feel like you've got to put your cards on the table. Do you see what I mean? It's communication.
From the talking stage, put your cards on the table. This is what I want. A lot of people, I find that crazy that they're in relationships. They're like, oh, hold on a minute, I want kids. And then 5 years in, and the girl's like, I don't want kids. I'm like, haven't you had that discussion before?
Thank you.
It's crazy. I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
Or some crazy, I'm like, oh, I want to travel the world. Didn't you discuss that when you started
exactly.
dating?
But do you feel like maybe people just change? People change. So maybe they had a conversation and maybe at that time they didn't want kids.
This is very true.
And then going into it, something changed, and maybe they either wanted kids or maybe they didn't want kids.
And this goes back to what your topic was, communication. You see?
Communication.
And when you're regularly with your partner, you always talk about stuff and keep the conversation going. I think relationships are work, and I know it sounds very cliche, but they need effort and time.
100%.
Time, attention is so key. Because that's something that's never refundable. And if you've chosen to invest in that person, you give them your time, attention, and give it your hard work as well. Because there'll be a lot of times where work stresses, money stresses, there's stress, and you need to still communicate. But I feel what you said about the whole should be discussed before. It's true, but again, with age, that's why I say with men, never date anyone younger. Because when looking back when I'm 21 to now, 34, I'm like, I'm a different human being.
100%. You've evolved, man. You've grown,
you know what I mean? It goes to men and women both, but I feel like later on, to avoid that kind of mishap, like you said, where they're like, oh, I want to go traveling out of nowhere. But you would have kind of discussed that. And if you're a smart man, you kind of gauge a question openly and say, okay, what do you feel about that? And she'll express, oh, I really can see by excitement and body language. She really
exactly,
and you kind of have to deal with that then.
100%. I think it's being in sync with someone and a person's love language, getting to know their love language. I think communication and transparency. Do you see what I mean? Not having no hidden agendas, respecting each other's boundaries, respecting each other. And I feel like showing love, care, respect, it's a lot of things that go into a relationship. Breakdowns, I feel like it's lack of respect, lack of understanding, lack of communication. It's just like there's so many ways in saying something, but are you actually listening.
Facts.
Listening is the issue.
Facts.
Because you could say a million things to me right now, and it's just how is it going to signal to my brain, isn't it?
Facts. And I always say to people, like, people listen to reply and some people listen to understand.
Exactly.
And that's the problem. So people really just want to reply, just they're guarded or they're trying to fight their agenda that's already in their head. And what goes back to what you're saying, a lot of things are so subconscious, they don't know what they're doing. A lot of things have been brainwashed into them where they don't know why they're doing it, like the crave for attention or so many deeper things, and they don't really understand themselves. So I always say to people, you have to really like and love yourself before you get into a relationship. Understand what your pros are and what your cons are.
Yeah.
Because no one's perfect.
Yeah, of course not. No one is. Yeah. No one is, definitely. I just feel like in terms of like breakdown in communication, do you feel like social media plays a massive part of it, doesn't it? It does.
That is the main cause. Yes. The main cause. I could write an essay on social media, how it breaks down relationships, because it's that one, and what the markets create, it's like that validation. It's validation. And I don't think men and women understand the long-term goals of social media, that you can get attention one day, but it's based upon how you look in it as a woman. I'm going to go woman's perspective first. Okay. It's based upon how you look. A lot of men, there's different categories of men. Men that are not fazed by bum, breast and pretty face. There are men that don't get access to women and they're like feeding these women loads of attention and likes. And women are not deciphering, hold on a minute, which of these men want to marry me and which of these men want to me. Excuse my language. And because you're getting attention, you're not quantifying what is the attention based upon what do the men want. But they're just taking attention as a whole, and they understand that they're running a race that is very, very short, that a new 21-year-old's born every minute. So if you're just basing your whole value on looks, a man, that's deteriorating. It's a depreciation asset. If you've got personality and you've got persona and you've got something about your morals, a man will build with you from there. But why back to the breakdown is because there's a lot of a woman's a DM away or like away from thinking she's got options, and men are the same, or scroll away or add away from thinking they've got options. Yeah,
and it's actually a shame that it's actually like that people feel like social media, there are too many options out there and so many ways. Just by the click of a button, there's another person that could just jump in your DM at any given time. You could be in a full-blown relationship and you're gone. That person's just entertaining.
Facts.
Do you see what I mean?
Facts.
But I do feel like social media, a lot of things on social media, it's fake.
Very fake.
Because
very
anyone
fake.
can portray themselves to be whoever they want to be on social media. Do you see what I mean? No one ever really, I don't really see it much. No one really shares their bad times, the bad sides of their life. Impossible. It's always the good.
It's impossible. I know like some women that save holiday pictures and post them up later on. There's so much crazy stuff that goes on social media. So yeah, it's all crazy on social media because it's just that it's a tool that's like going against relationships massively. Massively. Like especially what women they've got open profiles. They're putting up videos, they're flicking their hair, all these subliminals that a lot of men don't understand. And the same way for men when they're going liking a picture. I understand it's just a like, but the fact that you've gone out there, you've looked at it and you've liked it, and it depends on, obviously it's a kind of provocative photo. You have to really respect your woman at the same time.
Yeah, 100%.
If you're liking these kind of pictures, you're kind of, it's signaling that you find it attractive or so you have to really respect each other's boundaries at the same time.
Yeah.
And social media goes completely against that grain.
It does. I do feel like it's so crazy that some people, like in terms of like, I know a few people who have been in relationships, like long-time relationships, and just because one of the partners have liked a picture or put a love heart eyes or little flames, it just all blows up.
I understand.
Like you're on social media, when you really think about it, social media is just about just people putting up whatever their lives are, liking pictures. Or promote, but it is to do with business as well.
That's the
people
thing.
Promoting businesses, but I feel like everyone has their own reasons of why they've created their account. Do you see what I mean?
Very true. And I think you have to obviously asking you as a woman, when you see women in their underwear in the living room posting bikini pictures in the living room. You see what I'm trying to say? So you have to really look and decipher what you're really doing. And I feel like I remember one woman challenged me. I was like, put a picture up, put a video up saying that a lot of people are looking for attention when they're flicking hair, they're doing their stories, they're not talking, they're just going and looking like that. You know what I'm saying? And she challenged me. She goes, "Oh no, but my family. This is my family." I said, "Hold on a minute, but haven't you got your family's WhatsApp number? Haven't you got don't you have contact with them?"
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't like the reality of what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. They don't understand why they're doing it. But it's all for attention and validation. Some of it.
So do you reckon that it's just a woman thing, or do you reckon that men do it as well?
Some men do it. They're you know what? Some men, we're very. You can read us very easily. Yeah. I'll be very real. Like when a man's got his top off, he's oiled himself down,
like, flexing and all of that.
Or but a lot of women, men obviously attract women via money. So a lot of men will be in their designer, they're on holiday, they're like in Hacky-san, they're posted because they know this can intrigue a lot of women. Like, so that's your standard of living. I want to be part of that. So you reckon not
the gold diggers? You're saying it's mainly for the gold diggers?
A lot of men are like simps, the way they attract women with their money and their status, because men and women are very different. We're very visual, as you probably know. And
definitely.
Women are very status and security. And so a lot of men will use that, like, oh, look, I've got money, I can secure it if you want that, I can give it to you if you want it, or just DM me. And a lot of women will go to the bikini side and look sexy with their arse out and doing crazy stuff. You know? That's just life.
But I just feel like when it comes to relationships, I feel like men, obviously I can't speak for men, but if I'm wrong, just say, okay, I'm wrong. I feel like men, obviously, stability means a lot to men. Yeah. And there's also someone who obviously respects and understands. In terms of guys, I say if they want someone that can build with them, would you say?
I agree.
Not someone that's a gold digger, just wants to come and just take. It's someone that understands and respects.
I had to learn that very the hard way, because we go back in the day, a lot of women like the provider role. So it's not a case of how much you're earning, but can you provide for yourself? And worst comes to worst, can you provide for me?
Yeah.
And I kind of understood that. I was like, okay, I get that from women. Like, it's not a case of being there's a gold digger and someone who can provide for you. It's a different thing. It's about a man being stable in himself.
Yeah.
And just in case we have a family, could you make sure you can provide for a family and you're good?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I had to learn that. I was like, it makes sense now, So I don't think it's a case of some women are gold diggers. They want the standards in a man. Same way us men want feminine energy. Yeah. Someone who can care, cook, not cook or raise a family.
Yeah.
And most importantly, give us peace. That's what we want as men. Peace.
Just peace.
No wahala, no nothing, just peace. That's it.
Okay, so what would you say is, as a man, the deal breakers are? Like, what is it that makes you guys just switch off, that you're just done, you can't be asked? What is it? For
me personally, I would say us men, we like a woman to be exclusively ours, innit?
Okay. Yeah.
Because we don't want you to go out there looking for attention. You have to respect us in a certain way. And it goes back to, like, people say the body count thing. It's a very controversial thing. Okay. And you have to deep body count. Body count is based upon, like, we have to know that no man has much access to you. Okay. Because any woman can get sex. Like, for example, like a less attractive woman can stand out on the road, and say he wants to have sex with me. And she'll probably get like a queue of men, and she'll probably be like a 3, like we're going numbers or what, like attraction wise. But if a man who's an 8 done that, he'll probably get a queue of 2 or so. So what I'm trying to say is that for women, sex is easily attainable. Yeah. So for us men, we respect the fact that you can get, but you're refusing to. You don't want to, So that's why the body count thing is quite important to some man. Okay. And obviously, I think that's the key for me. I think as long as you're not accessible, you give me peace. You're not like on arguing, you're not stubborn. Stubborn's a key thing. Yeah. Because if I'm talking to you, I want you to understand, and the same way I understand you, Yeah, 100%. So I have to be able to learn and listen. Yeah. What about you as a woman?
Me, it's understanding.
Yeah.
So that I understand, so that we can communicate. Yeah. We're both respectful of each other's space, of each other. Yeah. That support, we support each other. Yeah. Both of us support each other equally. Yeah. It's not materialistic. I'm not like a materialistic person.
Well, we have like 6 baby mothers. But he's a good person though. He's a good guy, everybody. This guy's a good guy, provides, but he's got 6 baby mothers. Okay, listen, I don't judge anyone. I don't. I seriously don't judge anyone. But you've got to go into a situation that will fit you and what you're okay with getting into. Yeah. 6 baby mama, I don't think I would do it. What about
being honest
3?
I wouldn't.
Half it then, I'll be fair. Because 6 is crazy. That's going back to like... Nah. I respect that.
3.
2 or 1? What about 1? Minimum 1.
Okay. But is he in the kid's life? He has to be in the kid's lives. He has to be a very good father and very, But do you know the thing with that, is sometimes our minds, my mind will wonder, is that finished? there.
So that's the only sign off for you.
Yeah,
because
is it finished?
Okay, makes sense.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah,
I said, because you know how everyone, when people have a relationship or have had a relationship, now the kids are involved, it does become like, okay, they've always got this
access to each other all the time
for the rest of their lives. Do you see what I mean? So that's why I'd have to trust that person and be like, okay, if that didn't work 3 times, would it work with us?
Very true.
Do you see what I mean? But then I wouldn't want to be like, I'm judging, because people do evolve and people do change.
Of course, I agree.
Do you see what I mean?
Agree, fully.
But
so for you, I'm kind of interested because for a woman, it's more that he may have access to his baby mum in terms of like relationship wise. That's the main kind of red flag, not the fact he has a kid. It's just may.
At the end of the day, I've got 4 kids, beautiful kids, and I want to, in terms of getting into a relationship with someone who has kids, that's fine. Okay. You see what I mean? That's not an issue. I love kids. That's not an issue. But it's just, we would have to really talk about things. I'd really need to know, is it over? Do you see what I mean?
Makes sense.
Do you see what I mean? There has to be trusted. There has to be transparency.
Facts,
just like if I had like so many baby fathers, not that I do, but if I had so many, he would have to know.
Of course.
I don't want to be like, we're just all on a date and then
one day,
drop it. Do you see what I mean? Drop it one day and then I just have like someone calling up my phone, because I'm not about drama. I don't like drama. I don't like mix up. I seriously don't. I will tap out. That's how I am. I can't speak for any other woman, but how I am. I will tap out, but I will never judge people's situations because you never know. Things happen in life. It happens. People that have 2 to 3, it happens. 6, it's like,
it's a bit mad.
I was like, okay, but I don't know. What about you? He's trying to flip it on me, Dico. He's trying to flip it on me. You.
Me. For me, it's a bit of yes and no, because as a man, we want to build our own legacy, innit?
Yeah.
So, you know what it is for me? It was just a case of that, like you just said, that father or the baby father is going to be in your life for the rest, like forever.
Yeah.
Birthdays, Christmas, he's there. He's ringing your girl's phone saying, I'm going to pick him up at that time. And sometimes you just want a clear run, if that makes sense. You know, and that's the only issue. And especially, say for example, worst comes to worst, you break up now. And you formed an attachment to these kids. And you can't see them in any chance because you ain't got no legal rights. You're not a legal father. So it's all these negatives. However, a big however, if the woman's fantastic, great personality, she makes you feel good, and then you're gonna have to you're like, yeah, cool, I'm down with that.
So you would have something that could, of course, bend you.
Yeah.
Bend. Okay.
I feel like obviously, preferably, a man's first choice wouldn't be that.
Okay.
If you don't have kids, I don't know. I've got no kids, so.
Oh, you don't care. Okay.
Sadly enough.
Oh, it will happen soon, don't worry.
Amen. But for preferably they wouldn't, because even I think men with kids, I know I've spoken to guys who have kids, and they're like, nah, preferably not. But again, when we had a discussion on one of my podcasts, it's like, if she's amazing, then why wouldn't you? Like, because good people are rare, right?
Of course,
so
definitely.
You have to take your gold where you can take the cold.
Yeah, definitely. I think that. I feel like sometimes we say that we would be a certain way in a situation, but then another situation will come and it will actually change us, our way of thinking.
Massively.
We would be like, raw. I think it's good to be open-minded.
100%.
Because exactly what you just said, you could meet someone that literally has three beautiful children.
Yeah.
And she may want to give you your first child. Exactly. You see what I mean? And then you could grow to love her children.
This is true. Do
you see what I mean? It all depends on you as a person.
I fully agree.
Do you see what I mean?
Fully agree. It depends on how you want to live your life, and obviously we go back to what we said in the beginning. Uncompromisables and compromisables.
Yeah.
From the time you find interest in her, start talking, lay your cards down, like you said. This is what I want, and this is what I can't take.
100%. Hello, mister. You can come straight in.
Big up man like Chyna.
Big up. Chyna's in the building.
Same.
Oh man. Sorry, I was just late on that.
This traffic is mad.
So big up yourself.
Thank you.
Tell everyone who you are, what you do.
My name is Chyna. I'm the man voice. I'm an entrepreneur, creative podcaster. I think content creator now. So yeah. I literally, I was in such a rush and I left my drinks downstairs. I was going to bring them upstairs, but...
Oh, really?
Yeah, I brought you some of my drinks, but it's fine. It's okay.
Okay, well, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Still. Yeah, why are you forgetting?
No, mate, I was trying to get upstairs.
Okay, we'll have some after, don't worry. We will. Okay, well, thank you for joining. Thank you for coming on. Okay, so the topic was breakdown in communication between men and women.
Okay.
What causes it and why?
On what side? On like, what do you mean? On which side?
In relationships, just a breakdown in communication.
I just think, people just being honest. Really, I think it also depends on relationship, but I think people just stop talking.
Yeah.
And when people stop talking about stuff and then let them kind of build up, I think that's kind of when it gets to. I think I've said before, we live in quite a throwaway, disposable society, and I've said it before. Like in fashion, it used to be four seasons: spring, summer, autumn, winter. But now it's more like 52 seasons. With fast fashion, it's every single week. So you know how they have a new fashion every single week, and new clothing, they throw it away, right? Yeah. That's kind of how people treat relationships now. Whereas before, people used to work through
more
things.
Cherish.
Yeah, because you have so many options or perceived. No, it's perceived options. It's not even options. It's perceived options, especially with dating apps and social media and the rest of it. A lot of times, whereas people would work through things, nowadays they won't really work through things. Yeah. And whereas I think, particularly with women, when it comes to their girlfriends, they don't really, well, not all women, but there seems to be a trend when people in relationships, they try to sell a dream of, you know what, there's something better outside, or if you're single, particularly if you're...
You reckon that the friends have an influence?
Facts. You know what it is? Because I don't know, from my perception, it's that a lot of friends, they know that the end goal is married and being comfortable with someone, a real person, right? Yeah. So a lot of friends are jealous deep down. I've heard it's happened many times to me where they'll be in their ear telling them something else, like, go out, have a girl's night, or don't fuck him, or don't listen to him. Instead of encourage a relationship, the man then will be like, give you real advice and say, you know what, you need to chill out or you need to do this. Girls don't want women to see deep down sometimes to be happy, because it goes back to them looking in the mirror and thinking, where am I in my life? I'm not where they are.
So they don't want to be left out now. Oh, my friend's going to get married off.
Do you know what I always say? Okay. I always say to girls, listen, if your man is paying for stuff, if he's not cheating, if he's blowing your back out, you know what I'm saying to you? No, literally, if he's doing all the things that you want, do not tell your friends. Do not. Do not tell him how happy you are. If he's paying for you, do not. Yeah. Because as much as, see, women, a lot, especially when you have single friends, single women keep their friends single, especially in relationships, right? So if you have a single friend, particularly when your man is doing a lot for you, and then you got a friend, you know what women are like, women always like to, they want to consider themselves as a good woman, right? But when you consider yourself as a good woman, then your friend might not be as pretty as you sometimes. It tends to be that, but she's got a man that's doing a lot of stuff. What it tends to do is she starts to look at herself and say, okay, so why can't I have that? What's that about me? Okay. And not everybody is going to be happy for you. And that's life will teach you, right? Yeah. So when you go to those friends and then you tell them, oh, you know what, my man's done this, or argument or something, how likely are they to tell you to, you know what, go and work through things, you know what, all the different avenues rather than breaking up. There tends to be a push for, you know what, come outside, we'll go and do this, right? And I don't know if you saw something on social media with Tyrese's ex-missus.
Yeah, I see that.
What happened? Is it that her friends kind of influenced
exactly
her?
what Chyna said.
Yeah. Okay. So she was with Tyrese, and especially during the time when Tyrese was what was with her, that was during the 90s and the 2000s, when, for Tyrese, #1 black actor, singer, very talented. Probably the only person I think more talented than him is probably Jamie Foxx, right? At that time, Tyrese was everywhere, right? Okay. So, being a black man and having, she's, I think, the Latino, one of those. Latino, he stood by her, right? Yeah. Height of his fame. Now, due to the fact of her friends, and she even said her lawyer, she called her attorney. You do not call your attorney your lawyer when you're having problems with your husband and be like,
that's crazy.
They're going to push for that, right? And so she divorced him. There's been a lot of stuff about Tyrese, they like to clown him, a lot of stuff, right? Yeah. I think obviously he's someone that is bitten his feelings, but that's because whenever men love hard and when you believe in a woman, you do all that and she throws you away. Now, fast forward, she's on social media in the red pill space trying to give men advice, talking about, you know what, I regret, when I look back and I think about my friends on my ear and I shouldn't have gone there and I shouldn't have done that. And that's because, whereas if one of my friends, one of my dogs, he's been single for 15 years, he just got himself a missus, and they're on the way to be married and the rest of it.
That's beautiful.
The other day he told me, I want to come outside. I told him to do what? No, just as a friend, he was like, I just want to come.
That's really
I told him, no, you better, I told him, stay in your house because I can't help you.
Yeah.
I didn't help you find your missus. You've been out here for 15 years, literally, and the ratio is not good. So you did a 50 and you've been through disappointment, but this is the first time you're on a trajectory to get married. Stay with your, do not come outside, because if it goes wrong, I can't find you another wife. Just like when a woman steps outside, like you have to understand that you're going to go into the dating market. They're going to tell you about dating apps, all these types of things. But most of these things is you're not going to be the prize. You're going to come outside. Men are going to lie to you because men lie. And dating apps really caters to the really good looking men and the men with money and the really good looking women, right? Okay. And it tends to be just a hookup economy. Now, if you don't know that and you get out here, you're going to get surely disappointed, because most people are going to want to just sleep with you up, like pretty much straight away after a few dates, right? Because that's where we are right now. So when people sell dreams to be like, oh, outside and there's this, you come outside, likelihood. So when your missus leaves you, and she goes outside and she comes back, she's only coming back because she's realised that it's not as good as she thought. So the grass isn't greener. So I always say to men, I give you 1 week. If you break up with your girl, she has 1 week to come back.
So there's that 1 week.
No, there's just 1 week. After that week, you have to treat as she slept with someone.
Facts.
You have 1 week. And women, if you don't want to, like, this is for the women, if you don't want men to think that, do not break up with your man and leave it over. After a week, men, you have to accept that she slept with someone else, and you're taking her back based on the fact that
you have to make peace with that. Because how many DMs and attention women get on a daily, even like less attractive women. So imagine she's out for a week, how many, and she wants to fulfill that space.
Yeah, she'll get loads of DMs, sliding in DMs.
Yeah, and whenever I say to men, no matter how fly you think you are, how good looking you think you are, whatever, you can never have as much sex as a woman that wants to have much sex, because women control access to sex. So I could never, like, in order for me to have sex, I need to have okay, good looking, tall, money, something about me, status.
That's what you're saying, about the money and all of that.
Basically something that women find attractive, right? Yeah, cool. And then I need to do something in order for her to give me sex, right? Women, you control access to sex. We control access to relationships, So we only have sex because you allow it. Yes, you allow it, right? But you only get in a relationship or get married to me because I allow it. Unless you're gonna get down on one knee and buy me a gold 18K Rolex. No, if you do, then listen. But if you're not, then these are the roles, like, and people, these are the roles. If you're not gonna do that, then you have to understand that I control who gets married. That's why when a woman proposes to a man, everyone always laughs. They're like, because men know what we want. So if you're proposing to your man, he doesn't want to marry you.
Facts. So what's your thing? Do you think women know this? Because a lot of women here are running this race, and I'm thinking, where are they going to?
How do you mean, sorry?
Like the race in terms of like, they break up, they think I can do single girl summer for the rest of my life, and blah blah blah. But I think to yourself, do you understand that a new 21-year-old is born every minute?
See, it's because, okay, so this is the thing, right? And I said this before, right? Like, women, the 18 to 28 is the peak years, right? These are the years where the world will bend for you. These are when all the men want to take you out, the younger, the guys in your school, the older guys want to take you out. This is when you're going to get into the club. This is when you're likely to get all your proposals. This is really when you're supposed to secure the best man, right? But what women tend to do with these years, they tend to be outside with them. They'll tend to date multiple men. Probably they tend to date the wrong guys, the guys that give them trauma, the guys that are raised at the high body count. Sometimes during these 10 years, they might actually get kids, right? So what happens is, when they get to their 28s, 30s and they're outside again now, the same groups of men that they wasn't looking at those days and dating the older guys and the other guys that they considered, they start looking at them. And here's where the problem starts. So in order for us, women are born with value. Virginity, chastity is your value. As much as they don't want to say that, it's value. Women, we have to earn our value, right? So in order for me to sleep with 10 women, there needs to be something about me, that
attracts them to
the things that we said, right? In order for you to sleep with 10 men, all you have to do is say, I want to sleep with you. Like, and you will find 10 men that will sleep with you, right? Because, and that's how it is. So something that, and this is why, like, you have to protect something that, like, in order for me to sleep, I have to put in work. You don't got to do anything. So a man that sleeps with a lot of women, I'm not saying it's a good thing, but it tends to be, he has something about him, right? He doesn't tend to be a waste man, right? But a woman that sleeps with a lot of men, it's kind of like, because men know that you can, every day you could do it, right? It's easy. So something that comes easy to you,
it's not valuable.
Versus something that comes hard to us, right? And women tend to be, when they hear about a guy that's, or he's a ladies man, or he gets bare girls. Women like a ladies man. We don't want to hear you get bare man. We don't want to, because
it's a turn off.
Massive. Like we said before,
massive. We don't want to know you have men around you. Massive. We don't want to male friend.
Male friend.
Because
I don't know. What is it? What is it to male friend? Because
men and women can't be friends. You know that.
Like we just saying it because
seriously,
they can't. Say for example,
explain. Go on. Let me hear you. What you're going to say.
If you have access, like say for example, your friends now, and if this woman, your girlfriend, said to him out of the blue, let's have sex, do you think he's gonna say no?
Yeah.
You see? And you imagine you have problems now. Where do you think you should go to a male friend who's going to use his own agenda and bias if he wants to and go, oh, you know what? You should leave. He's a waste, man. Leave him. Yeah. Stay around. Let me take you out. He's ready because you know what man really like has male girlfriends like that where they go out and chill and have dinner and talk about the problems.
I've got a few male friends who I don't see in that way at all. I don't see them in man.
Okay, yeah. So you don't see your male friends in that way, but how did they see you? Okay, how did you meet? How did you meet them? How did you meet them? Flashback. How did you meet them?
Some I've grown up with.
No, but okay.
A few I've met on obviously
what?
Instagram.
How? But how did you meet? What was the first meeting though?
The first meeting. Okay, I'm grown up with some.
No, I'm talking about not the ones you've grown up with.
Okay.
The ones, the male. Okay, so have you ever met?
Liking my posts.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. So, all right. So these guys that you met, they're not your friends. We call these beta male orbiters, right? They're your male orbiters. They hang around because you have let them know from the start that you're not interested in a sexual relationship, right? Yeah. But they still you still want some type of attention from them because you interact with them, right? So for women. Attention, well, you're not in a relationship or whatever, I don't know what you are, but when you get attention from outside men, that is still cheating, right? So these men around you, they're only your friends because they've allowed you to. I say, do you want to do he's just a friend test? Say he's just a friend. Text your friends now, or these so-called friends, go and message them and tell them that you want, that you want to come around and tell them that you've got feelings around them. As soon as I ever say this,
whatever, they'll be tan, whatever. Like,
okay, they always say this, but when I ask them to do it, women never do it because they never do it because we know one of your friends is going to reply.
It's like Pandora's box, isn't it?
No, it's not though because
it's never there. It wouldn't be open.
It wouldn't be open.
That's true,
he should be like, Tan, you're my sister. That's incest. And he's not. And this is the thing. And women. So when we come around your male friends and we see them, we're going to say, hold on a second. I can see when a man shakes your hand, when he comes to your work office and he sees this whole work hubby thing, this whole men them have to man them.
Work hubby. I mean hubby. I don't even
there's
get that,
some guy at work and whenever she's arguing with you, this guy's so what's happened? He's asking, you know what I mean? And he's trying to give that sympathetic ear.
Oh, so you mean that they try to wait for things to break down in the relationship and then there's that
the opportunist, man. That's the betas.
Nah, I don't think my guys.
That's what you think. Every woman always says that. It makes me laugh. Every woman says that. But how many men are only accepting your friendship because they know at some point in your life it might change round, and that's why they accept it, right? Yeah. So you're not friends. That's based upon the fact that they hope you get sex one day, and it tends to be they do. It might not be today. It might not be tomorrow. It might be 5 years, but in 5 years he'll still get it. And man, them if she makes you 5. Just beat and kick. Just treat her like the rest of them. Don't make her no. Don't make me wait as the friend, and then after 5 years you give it to me.
Okay, so no, I've got a question. So
I'll treat you like the rest of them.
In a relationship, would you two be open to have female friends if you're in a relationship?
No, the woman. Men and women cannot be friends.
If you get with someone, listen, are you not going
men and women cannot be friends unless one of the other person place them in the friend zone. Yeah. The women that have around me, I place them in the friend zone, yeah? Okay, cool. But you have to understand, I have very pretty women around me now, yeah? And if I didn't place them in the friend zone, or maybe some of them place me in the friend zone, yeah?
Okay.
And now that's where it is. But if one of them girls that place me in the friend zone decide one day to come
move to you. To move
now
to
you got problems. Now you got problems because it's like
honest.
No, because this you wanted her.
Yeah, it's true.
You wanted her.
Okay. The desire was there at the beginning.
And now she patted it. Now one day she's just like, now you have a problem in your relationship because this is your one moment. Yeah. You might never get again.
Yeah. And when she's having problems with her partner,
man's over.
She's like, Chyna, he did this to me.
Yeah.
He did this to me. What would you look at? And you'd be like, no, yeah, just what you say, leave him. Nah, man, he's a waste, man, leave him.
See, Ty Bellew men were strikers. So
striking. That's the time.
So the goal's open. You gave me the
goal. Tap in. That's a tap in. That's a straight tap in.
Okay.
You know?
That's a straight tap in. That's a straight tap in. And on top of that, it's like you have to understand something. It's like men, we understand this. It's all happened to us where you don't chat to a girl for a time and all of a sudden she just comes out of the blue and then now she's like, because she was in a relationship, she was going to get married. All of these things and all of it, now it's all over. Men understand this and we're not waiting for you. We're doing our other things.
Yeah.
Do you get me?
Yeah.
I know. And I'll be real with you. Let me just tell you, there was a girl when I was younger. It's always younger. This girl was bad. When I say bad, she was one of the baddest girls growing up, one bad lighty growing up. Anyway, I just remember, like, everyone wanted her. Like, it's not that she didn't rate me, but just everyone, that would have been my dream girl growing up. Okay. Fast forward, move on forward. Now she's got kids, she's whatever, and I've met up again. Yeah. And then, I can't lie, she looked bad. And she was a baby mama. And it was like, obviously, man ended up dating her. Like I said, I dated baby mamas, but nothing was ever going to happen, like seriously. But it was like, it's cool to get it now, but you should have given it to me then. Because now, I just got it, so I'm like everybody else. I just ticked it off. Doesn't mean I don't feel special.
You more would have valued it back then.
No, because basically she's giving it to me now because she rates me like all the other guys she rates, yeah? So I'm glad you rate me now, but guess what? Like, I don't rate you. You have acknowledged the fact that, okay, now you can get me because you're like the other guys, but you should have acknowledged it way back then. Giving it to me now just acknowledges the fact that, yeah, I'm the guy now. But this is what happens, right? And a lot of times people don't necessarily think to the future as well, so.
What you're saying there is like men's value increases as they get older, innit?
Yeah.
So sadly enough, I'm not to be derogatory, women's value decreases, innit? Because like,
but it's not derogatory, just be honest.
I know, because people get offended easily.
No, go on, talk.
Tell women, it's called the wall. They're gonna hit the wall.
This is it.
Okay.
And that's the problem. So like, what happened to his story? Like, that's what happened. He's the man. He had to earn what he had to do. He had to become value in terms of hard work and his character.
Yeah.
She's seen that now. She's like, yeah. But she was given it from birth. Like, she just had to look pretty.
Yeah.
And that's it. And it shows you the difference between men and women. Like, you know.
Okay.
And as we get older, we can date down. It's fine because we've got our resources and we've got what we need to do and character build and become the men we need to be. But women, it's...
But women, listen, no, they can, listen, date who you... Okay, one of the things I advocate is date who you want, consensually, you know what I mean? Like... adult, like, you know what I mean, mid-20s, like, yeah, date who you want, like, do you get me? But there seems to be a thing where women will say, men in their 30s, men in their 40s, dating women in their 20s younger. They'll say, oh, they only want to date these younger women because they don't want to date a strong woman. Oh, they want to manipulate them. I was on my live last night. We had a girl she was 26.
I didn't follow the suit, but I saw it.
She was 26. Her guy was 45. He had 2 kids, right? And she's about to be 27, right? And I use that example. I was like, is he manipulating you? Is he what? She's like, no. I'm like, you can have a mortgage, right? She's like, yeah. She's like, you can have a pension, right? Yeah. I said, you can go to jail for the same crimes there. So why are you dating them? And she just basically said, like, you know, my dad was older than my mom. So a lot of women that be talking up like this, their parents have a 10-year age gap. Look, bigger, right? When you turn 50 and 60 and 60 and 70, no one cares. But the reason that women in their 30s start making up noise to the men in their 30s and 40s is because you are directly competing for the same men with the younger women. So what happens now is, right, they're trying to make it fair. So they're trying to, if I'm out in a festival, and I see 2 women, 2 good-looking women, right, and I judge, and I want to take the one on the left, but then on the one on the right is older, and then she says, oh, she's younger, you shouldn't pick her. But I'm like, I based on what was good looking. What in an adult event in a festival, I based it on 2 good looking women. Now, are you going to tell me I need to pick you because you're older? That's what they're saying.
So do you prefer younger women?
No. Look what you did. Look what you did. You said, do you prefer? I based on looks.
On looks. Okay.
No, I didn't. I said, I'm in an event. I'm in an adult. I'm in a festival. Security have done their checks. Everyone that in here is of age, I've looked at 2 women I find attractive. The one on the left I find more attractive. She happens to be younger than the one on the right. Now you said to me, do I find... No, so what you're doing is men tend to find youthful more attractiveness, So we will be the one we find most attractive. If she's younger than you, she's younger than you. She's still a grown woman. Why do I need to pick you because you're 36 and she's 26? Why do I need to pick you? Why?
But remember,
no, wait, attraction. Okay. Why do I need to pick you? I've gone out, I've seen 2 women I find attractive, I've gone to the one on the left, I've gone to the one on the left, she happens to be younger, you happen to be older. Why do I have to pick you based upon age? I don't find you more appealing. Why? Tell me why.
But it could be it's your preference though.
Yeah, I know, but...
It's your preference.
Okay, but why is...
It doesn't mean that one's more...
No, but I'm saying women will say, oh, no, you're trying to manipulate younger women, this, that, whatever. What it comes down to, men like what we like, right? Yeah, exactly. And if you can get a 26-year-old man, go get one. No, but I'm saying... But here's the problem. You wouldn't want one. No. Because what are you doing with a 26-year-old man? Nothing, right? But with me, a 26, she can give me a whole football team worth of kids. Right. So I'm saying to you, she wants to be... And this is what women don't like. Go look at Robert De Niro. Go look at... George Lucas. Go look at what's the other one?
Capriano.
Bro, Leonardo.
Leonardo.
Go look at
the age group he's dating.
It's always younger.
Yeah, because why? Why? Because he don't? And this is the thing. It's younger because he can. It's called the male advantage. It's always been this way. Women need to get their life. You need to get your life sorted out a lot sooner. And men we get our things to a lot later. Even look at David Beckham. Go look at David Beckham, Victoria. David Beckham now, he's still, even with his wrinkles, he's still looking good. Women will still take David Beckham. Yeah. Go look at 50 Cent. Go look at Cuban Dot. Go look at the woman he has next to him. This is how it's always been. But we live in the Western world where they're trying to make it fair. Yeah, women want to go outside and live their best life. That's fine. But their choices and trade-offs. If you spend your 18 to 28 and you run up your body count and you get trauma and you get kids, you do whatever, then you come out, you're 30, and then you say, all of a sudden, I want to find a husband. Cool. But the men don't have to pick you. And just like when we was younger and they were picking older men, the guys that were popping all the bottles in the club, the uncles with the sparkles with the big whips, not once did we say it's not fair. We said, let's get our money out.
So you're saying that the reason why like some women kind of feel like, oh, pick me now is because the options are like there's no more options. Because
the men are not picking
them anymore. So are you saying that they get into a desperate state?
Well, it becomes it becomes desperate when you start trying to tell men that their options are based upon manipulation. It's based upon this. Because let me tell you something: women in their 30s, 40s, and definitely in their 50s are way more easier to manipulate than women in their 20s. Let me tell you why. Why? Because now you're desperate. Now you're desperate. Yeah, no, because now you're desperate. Now you're desperate. Yeah. Look at the Tinder swindler. You know the Tinder swindler.
Oh yes, I watched that. That was mad.
Was he manipulating 18-year-olds and 20-year-olds, or was he manipulating grown women with millions and millions of pounds?
It was grown women.
Why? Because they sad and they wanted the man and they really wanted
that love. They wanted that.
This was one man. They made a whole documentary. This is what women do every single day. Finessing.
Not all women.
When I say when I say women, I'm gonna have to do this. Yeah. When we say women. And when we say men, when you say men, I never say not all men, because I'm quite aware you're not talking about me and other men. So when we say we shouldn't have to keep saying, we speak in the majority, right? There's always going to be a minority that doesn't do it. But there's enough people that are doing it where we're talking about this, right? So whenever we speak about men, I speak about women, we're never speaking about all, but we're speaking about enough where we're having a conversation about it. So when I say, I'm just saying it, so everyone that's watching, when we say men, when you say men, I don't think you're talking about me. I never say, oh, you're not, well, why? Because I know you're not talking about me, but you're talking about enough men where we're going to speak about it. When I speak about women, I'm never speaking about all women, but there's enough women, so it's like this, enough women are having a problem where they're complaining, right? So there must be men doing this, right? And so I'm just saying when we speak about it, because if not, every single time we've got to be like, some women, some men, let's just get a general basis that we're never speaking about.
So I have a question. So in terms of the, was it the twin, what was it called again?
Tinder swindler.
Yeah. Do you reckon that all of the manipulation, you reckon that none of his manipulation would have worked on an 18-year-old?
I didn't say he didn't, but he did it to grow women with money. What's he doing manipulating a younger woman when he's the one that's to provide? Younger women manipulate older men. Younger women Tinder swindle older men for their resources, right? Yeah. And then what I'm trying to say to you is women saying, oh, you just want a younger woman because she hasn't got her own mind. Picking up a woman in her 30s that's got kids already that wants love is so much easier. Like, it's so easy. I could literally walk into a and then she would love me. Do you know why? Because no one's going to do that. Like, a younger woman has got bare options. Like, man are gassing her all the time. It will go in one ear. When you get an older woman, and this is why they start trying to make it fair and start to demonize men. Oh, they'll start trying to call men all types of things. Oh, you want to... The worst types of language to...
When they say grooming.
How am I grooming a woman in the mid-20s?
Yeah, because... grooming.
They'll use discussing, because when they use this language, what they try to do is create an image. So when they say that, what goals are attached to that? So when they say that to your name, they're trying to throw that in, and this is what they do, and it's a language they use, the media use, and the military use when they want to demonize a person or use all types of words. So when you use those words, automatically it brings meaning and connotation to it. And you're like, so they use that to men because they're trying to make it fair.
It's a cringy word, isn't it? When you hear grooming, it seems like someone that's
then they'll say things like, oh, but the brain doesn't fully develop. If that's the case, then why do people in their 20s get tried and go to jail? If that's the case, you know what I'm trying to say to you? They're trying to pretend, they're trying to act like men are trying to pluck little teenage girls. No, nobody's not. We're dealing with grown women in their 20s, but you don't have the same time frame as a man. And if you, so I'm going to just say women will act like they don't want certain things, but they definitely do. They definitely do. If they could pick younger and he would be serious about them, they would take it. They would. Just like another thing, if women could, like, if if I want to speak about black women, then I'll speak about but if they could have, they always talk about black men with light skinned women, right? But when a light skinned guy picks a black woman, they get picked. They jump up every single time and pick me. They'll talk about black men with white women, but let a white man look at them and they'll be jumping and saying, "Let me pick me." I see it in Love Island. I see it everywhere.
I don't even watch.
I don't watch it, but I look at the socials and I look at the optics, right? And whenever a black look at Serena Williams. Look how they'll treat her, right? You get me? She's got a white husband, right? They'll support it. But anytime a black, they'll demonize it, right? So what I'm trying to say is, women will, when it's them, they will jump up for the same opportunities and they will support it. But when it's a man, they're gonna go and try to demonize it because they're trying to make it fair. But it's only because they don't have the same option. Because if they did, if white men were marrying them and picking up them the rate that black men were marrying white women and doing, they will take the option as well. If light-skinned men were picking the dark-skinned women at the rate of the light-skinned women were picking them, they will take the option as well. But when you're not taking the option, when no one's picking you, it's like, I'm going to just point fingers at everyone and say, no one's picking me because of this reason. And then, you're only picking those people because of that reason. Because you're colorist. You don't love your mother. Because, you can't handle a strong woman. You want a minute. And it becomes all of these things rather than, I just find you attractive and I like your personality.
It's just someone's preference. Like stuff don't get to me, you know. Stuff like that don't get to me, you know. So it's true. People want what they want. People like what they like. And everyone has you can like whatever you like. Do you see what I mean? You can, as long as it's not get to the point where it's illegal. From like a woman's point of view, like a woman going for a younger man, that'd be like
it's crazy
mad.
You say that, but then everyone talks about it. Like Chyna was saying, what she was saying about the whole race thing. Man, I just go through comments because I'm bored sometimes. It's the most entertaining thing you can do. And the amount of slander like black men get for picking white women is crazy.
Do you know?
It's just.
I mean, I've got black relatives who are with some of them with a white woman, and those women are my aunties. Like I love them to bits. I've never ever say anything like, why did he pick? No, I've grown up, they've seen me and my siblings, my family grow, and they're lovely women. Do you see what I mean? And I see it as that's what my uncles wanted, that's what they wanted. Do you see what I mean? That's not my life.
I've noticed the pattern as well, because I think they really care it's the successful black men.
It's
the ones that got money and they're like footballers, like, look, they never pick us. But even a man, like you see like a bum black guy walking with some Tracy, no one cares. No one cares.
I saw this with the Mo the comedian thing. I don't know if you saw that when his girl got leaked, the picture of Mo's girl. And I remember seeing Mo in must have been like 2015. I must have gone to go see him in Brixton. Saw him live. I was doing some blogging on media writing, doing some stuff, but I was there and he was funny. I was like, this guy's mad funny. I got a picture. I got a picture of him. I'm gonna tag him one day and show him. Mo, remember this when you were broke? No, get about you.
No, don't say that.
No, because he speaks about it. He talks about it. It's when he was in Sainsbury's. It was when he was like, no one cared. And I remember, no one cared. He did his comedy that night, but no one. It was funny. But everyone's like, that's Mo, just Mo the comedian, like. But no one cared. I remember how funny he was. I was like, bro, this man's mad funny, like. But no one cared. That was 2015, he is funny. Right? Cool. The place was in Brixton, full of black women, right? No one cared. He was broke. No one cared, right? Cool. Fast forward to Mo now, yeah. Now he's he's big. He's everything. He's massive, massive. One of the biggest comedian acts in there, and he's done it organically, yeah. And then his picture gets leaked of his woman. And I see the comments and everyone But this is that same woman. I remember this is that same woman from back in the day. He's been dating her for like well over 10 years. Oh, wow. Like this same woman that's been through for nothing, yeah? And I'm like, everyone only ever sees the end. They don't see the struggle. They don't know what you go through, right?
Facts,
Like, and I'm not going to make this into a thing about a white woman and a black woman thing about support. No, it's just based upon that this woman has been there.
For him.
And if you wanted to be here when he's the millionaire and everything, you should have been there.
100%.
He was in Brixton. There was loads of women. You think he hasn't? No, there would be women, but he didn't. He picked another woman, whatever, and she rolled with him. And now he's successful, right?
Yeah.
Cool. The optics, people don't like the optics of, another rich, successful black man with a white woman, right? Cool. If you don't like that, then there seems to be something about white women. They know how to find them. they apparently know how to find them, right? They know how to find all these guys, these footballers in school before they're blown. They know how to.
That's just what I was saying to you. Like in terms of like I said with men, you men want someone that is going to be there for you from the ground up, isn't it? It doesn't matter what colour they are, as long as they're your ride, they're there.
And you're offering me peace.
You see what I mean?
And
peace, respect.
Yes,
you know.
And a lot what Chyna was saying, back to what he's saying, obviously, I'm not going to make it a race thing, but a lot of people like the finished article. So they
don't see the late nights, they don't see the struggle, the tears. 100%.
They want that, I can see you're the man, you got status now. But what some white women are doing, or some other races, they're looking at the investment. They're looking, okay, cool.
They've got foresight,
But a lot of, obviously, our sisters aren't doing that. They're like looking, I want you to be up there now.
Yeah.
I'm like, rah.
They want the finished product now. Is that the thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I feel anyway.
I feel like it's not just something I feel, it's something that is repeatedly that men say, right? Women in general, but nothing worse than your sisters not seeing you for who you are.
Not seeing your value.
And then you step into another room and they're like, yo. And yes, it's partly that thing. You also got to remember, a white woman cannot have a black child without me. Yeah? And so there seems to be that thing where sometimes your own sisters won't really see you for your value, right? And outside, right? So it's like, there's nothing, they go and find your Virgil. They didn't like Virgil had a white woman, right? They didn't like Virgil Abloh.
Rest in peace.
LV, R.I.P. Virgil Abloh from Louis Vuitton, yeah. Was he Ghanaian?
I think so,
yeah. I think it was, Ghanaian designer, massive. He was with Kanye, he rose up to Off-White, yeah. Off-White,
okay,
yeah. Off-White, yeah. I should have said that, yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
Virgil Off-White, yeah. But when you flash back to, okay, he's passed away. His woman was white, so all that money, all that thing is basically it's gone to her. Yeah. Just like Kobe Bryant, right?
Yeah.
Cool. But you have to understand, Virgil. When you look at Virgil is not. He was a nerd. Yeah. When you look at Virgil, he was a nerd, right? Yeah. He was a nerd. I thought, No, I did. I thought it was a bit. I thought. No, he had kids. Like, I did think that, but Virgil represents the types of men, black men, the archetype they don't look at. So there's many types of archetype of black man, right? And there seems to be, I don't know, depends on what you're looking at, but the same image, what they seem to put out, is not the same image for everybody, innit? So it's like Virgil is a successful black man, but he didn't have necessarily the alpha image. He wasn't the outside, you know what I mean? The type of image but he was still very successful, right? Women tend to skip past the guys they don't deem to be in that archetype when they're younger. Yeah. And as they get older, what they look for starts to change, right? So then these men start to become attractive because they're the men that they can start to bend things, start to make stuff. But when you're in the younger, it just tends to be things that make them go. So women need to be able to look at a guy, because I would say to them, go get yourself one of these gamer guys. You can get yourself a good-looking guy, that's a gamer, and he'll be inside his yard every single day. You're a baddie, put it on him. He's never experienced this before. He's not cheating. You know where he is, but you don't want that, right? You can literally get yourself a good-looking guy that just plays computer games, and that's it, right? Or you can go outside and get yourself a good-looking guy that's outside. Now, they're both good-looking guys. One guy's going to be inside the house, and he's going to love you and appreciate you because, wow, you're a baddie. The other guy, you just give me another one because he's got bear. He's outside. Yeah. But women are going to disregard the guy on the game and go pick the guy that's literally on the game outside, right?
The player.
Yeah, the player. But there's different archetypes of the same man. And you can get a good-looking man. Just like women, you can get a really good-looking girl. She don't have to be outside. She can be at home baking.
Yeah.
She literally don't want to be outside. But I think there seems to be one image of how we're supposed to be. Yeah. And we're not supposed to be that. So I'll be like, look for a guy that's got. So this is how it was always supposed to be. For example, I came into your home, I wanted to date you. You was the brother, you was the dad, you was the uncle. You checked me over my family. There was no dating. That's like a 20th century concept. America came from America in the early 1950s. It was courting. I'll have access to you, limited amount of access to you. Check my family over. I'll go a couple of dates. The most thing I would get is a kiss on the cheek, right?
Yeah, no sexual.
Never. Then what will happen is I didn't need to have money. I just need to have good promise. I wanted to do well. Then we'll
and your family as well.
Yeah, then what will happen is you come with me and we'll get it together. That was happening. You know what I mean? We'll build. So ever since that's gone out the window, right? And women pick themselves. So when you don't build with a person, you come at the end. Yeah. You don't have any equity.
Yeah.
So you see a lot of times a man will be with a woman. He'll be so successful. People are like, oh, he's what? The mode of comedian. He's white. Oh, she's butters. Oh, she's dead. Why doesn't he change her? She has equity. Yeah. Men are more like, I'm not saying he will never cheat. I'm not saying step out, but he's never going to leave you. Facts. Yeah. He's not going to leave you. And because he's not going to, it's because you have equity. But when you come in at the end and now I've got the house, now I've got the car, you're attracted to all this. I know you're attracted to me. Yeah,
the
cool.
material.
Yeah, of course, I get it. I'm not going to complain about it. But it's something different when you don't have nothing. And a woman rides by you and does whatever. You always talk about these, McGregor talks about it with D. Devlin, he talks about it when he never had nothing, when he was on job seekers allowance, and he was training at the gym, and his missus was, and now look, do you get me?
Yeah.
You know, we speak about, everyone talks about Colleen Rooney. Colleen Rooney was with Rain since they were school.
That's her first love.
They'll talk about cheating, talk about all these things. Where is she going to
step out on her?
But where is she going to go?
But here's the thing.
Where is she? Wayne Rooney.
They have built in there.
She's got 3. How many kids she got?
4 now.
4.
It was 3.
Her friends are gonna say, "Oh, go outside." Where? Where? To who?
But rate her.
You don't reckon she'll leave him? No, I don't think she'll leave him.
But rate Colleen for understanding that. A lot of women don't understand that. Where's she?
Whoa, hold on a second. Victoria Beckham, that Rebecca Lewson, what happened?
Look what she done. She came out and had a united front. She was hugging him. It was like she just came out straight away. United, didn't speak nothing of it.
Had another baby.
Oh wow.
That's how you show united. Jay-Z and Beyonce release music.
He did his thing, but look, there was solid.
But he let her make a whole album cussing him, invigorated whole women getting mad at him. Then back to Happy Family.
Yeah, see, she's back to the.
I
always say something.
They had the biggest laugh, and he had the last laugh
because you are. Where is Beyonce going to go after Jay-Z, the black billion? Where is she? Who is she gonna have? Tell me who she dates after that. Tell me, nobody.
No, I haven't no one compared to Jay-Z for her.
Do you see?
That's her soulmate.
Jeff Bezos' ex-wife that divorced him, that he gave her billions, right? Yeah. After that, she's had multiple relationships, all failed, right? Yeah. She never met no one as high as Jeff Bezos. She keeps giving her money away because, end of the day, it's like after Jeff Bezos,
where's the next?
There's nobody after that. There's nobody.
No one to compare.
Because there is nobody. Like you date Jeff Bezos, the drop is so mad. You get me? Do you understand? So where you going to?
Yeah.
Your friends will tell you, you're going to go get another billionaire? When the circle of billionaires is so small.
Yeah.
So sometimes I just think people overplay the options due to things around them and they just don't really understand. And I just said before, man, like, you know, you got to kind of like, don't let your friends gas you up. Like, and man, don't let your friends gas. It's always the friends, because when you're lonely,
that'll break shit down. You reckon that'll seriously break shit down? Yeah,
like I just think if you have good network of friends, show me your friends. I'll show you. I
have good friends that literally we support each other. We boost each other up, give each other good advice, and But when you start to step out to different lanes, some of them get a bit. I reckon that if I was to step out or to divert, I've got friends that will put me back on track. Obviously, I put myself, but I've got friends that will be like, "Nah, what are you doing?"
What I mean, like in terms of you elevating yourself, like they start to look at themselves.
I'll always elevate myself, but it's good to know that you have people that have your back as well.
But some of them might start looking at themselves and think, "Why am I not the level you are?" And they start to try to bring you down because it affects their reality, knowing that you're there, and they think, "How are you there and I'm not there?" That's the problem with friends sometimes, and it only happens when you get to that stage. So you'll never know until you get there. If it makes sense, but it's crazy.
Why do you say it's fat? Why you say it's fat?
No, because I've seen it happen. I've experienced it. Like I know what it is, man. And you have to see. I always say to people, especially as you're getting older, and that I say like everyone gets set in their ways. Do you know what it is when you become old? Like you become old when you're not willing to do anything, try new things, when you're not willing to learn anymore. So if people don't understand why you're doing like podcasting, why you're doing radio shows, why you're doing whatever, if they're like, why are you doing that? Then it's because they're old. And they've got stuck in their way. They don't want to learn anything new. They don't understand. They don't. But me personally, I'm like, that being creative, innit? Like, I like all of these fields that I'm in, like crazy. I love it. It's what I love doing. But younger people don't, like when you speak to younger kids or young youth people, it's like young men, young women, they still are limitless. When you, part of age, what it does is you start to become rational. But you still have to look at things with a child's logic and irrational. So when you do something, when you create, you gotta create without restriction. Yeah. So if you write a script, you don't write a script for a budget. You write a script just to and then you'll get with a producer and you'll get with that and they'll be like, actually, you gotta take this out, right? But when you write creativity, just write anything. Write like you have an unlimited budget. Yeah. Then someone's gonna say, ooh, okay, we gotta take that out. But don't ever try to kind of stifle yourself. And I think a lot of people stifle themselves, stifle their creativity, and when you're doing things that people aren't doing, it can exacerbate some of their insecurities on themselves. And we live in a world where, listen, I'm gonna be real. Everyone's like, why are you doing that? Until you do it. So for me, podcasting and stuff, this wasn't something I intended to do. I've said this before. I've always spoken like this on camera, off. So this is not me trying to be. You're always the same. Yeah, I'm the same. It's just with a camera on it. And then obviously it went viral, and then people liked what I was saying. Then there was like, I think you should start a podcast, but I didn't know anything about podcasting. So I was like, okay, I'll start a YouTube. If I get 1,000 subscribers, I'll start a podcast. Then 1,000 people subscribed, and I was like,
That's
cool.
amazing.
I started my podcast.
Well done.
I didn't know anything, and I was like, okay, let me go into platforms. Started inviting me on. Obviously, my first podcast was Just Pearly Things. I got millions and millions of views on the platform. Then other platforms started asking me to come. So I was like, I'll just go around and I'll, get value. Then I started, getting viral clips, more viral clips. And we started making...
But that's good though, isn't
This
it?
is the most viral man ever. This guy.
No, so can I just tell you, like, when we met at the pod and party, big up my sis Prinny, Ease Envy, Noise and Banter, big up yourselves, was when he said, I was on the panel, but I was right at the end, I didn't know what I was going to get, because I didn't know him, a few of us, I was at the end, like this, just listening to him, and I was just like, okay, who's this guy? Just talking, and then a lady said, oh, why are you not married? And I was just thinking, who's that? And then this one,
cooked.
I didn't know, but you know what's so crazy? I could see he was going to say something.
I was trying to answer.
It wasn't going to be that response. No, it wasn't going to be the response that he said that made him bite. Hit him. Oh, I've got to deal with all of you. And everyone was, I was like,
who wants to marry you?
My mouth was like open.
You know what,
I couldn't
Tan,
believe it.
I'm glad you said that. He was trying to articulate, because I was literally trying to articulate a separate response, and I'm now being heckled, right? So I'm a guest and I want to articulate a response, and now I'm like, oh, but why are you not married, Chyna? So then I'm like, hold on a second. So you want to answer? Then I was like, okay, I wanted to menace mode.
He just went
because
left.
I can do that. But I would always try to articulate my point, innit? I'm trying to say to you. So essentially, it was like, when I said that, I'm a guest. I'm speaking at a thing. I know it can be a little bit whatever, but let me say what I'm saying. One of my panelists have asked me a serious question. I want to articulate it, right? But you guys are heckling me, right? So what you're proving to me is, you guys, there's lots of beautiful women in this room, but the energy you're giving me is not what the energy I'm supposed to get. And who would want to deal with this energy? Like, look how you disrespect.
And I think you said that. You said, who's going to want to deal with this?
I'm like,
you said that.
Yeah, and I said it.
This is what we've got to deal with, or something.
Who wants
like
to pick this? And we won't just pick it. And I should go to any room, and providing I'm being respectful to those women, I'm not. Then you should be respectful to me.
Everyone should be respectful.
Yeah, do you understand?
To everyone.
So back to the thing. So obviously, so then, I was like, I started going really viral. We started making, podcasts that we haven't, small podcasts, and I would learn a lot. And I decided that I wanted to go to as many podcasters as I could, and we would create content and viral content for these podcasts. We wouldn't care about the bigger platforms or name them, and we would do that. And so we did that, and then obviously bigger platforms will see that, and then the blog started posting me. A lot of the major I've never paid for a post ever in my life, but all of the major blogs in the UK continuously post me. That's because this is how it works, right? They get views, but more important, they get engagement because of the things that I say. Then off that engagement, they get analytics, and they sell those analytics to the people that want to post and the brands.
Oh, okay.
So when they post me, they directly get paid off what I post, right? Cool. A lot of platforms I've been on, they were monetized already. There's clips of me. Shout out to Pearl, 10 million views here, 5 million. All these, like, I've looked at the maths on how much everyone's made off me, and it's fine. But that let me know that I had something. So I then went and did my thing, and then in order to get monetized on YouTube, you need to get 4,000 watch hours, which is a lot harder. With they bring the shorts and the reels, so the shorts to combat TikTok and Instagram, but you don't get monetized off that, innit? So in order to get monetized, you need 1,000 hours and 4,000 watch hours. Now 1,000 subscribers. Now the 1,000 subscribers might be slightly easier if you've got a bigger platform, right? But the 4,000 watch hours, that's the bit, right?
Oh, is it?
On average, it takes people 18 months to get monetized. I did it in 10.
Wow.
Sick.
See what I'm saying? So now my point where I'm a YouTube partner, obviously my analytics are going up, my subscribers are going up. I'm getting paid from the content now, and on top of that, you can do the super chats. See when I'm doing live?
Yeah, he does it.
No, but
it's like a different one. I went on one with him.
Yes, I use streamer. Yes, I use streamer. Yeah.
He goes on Instagram.
It's the best thing.
See it pop up.
Because you get the super chats, you get people interacting. It's crazy.
And because I've met a lot of YouTubers that make 6 figures a month, 5 figures a month. Like, if you don't understand YouTube, you won't understand it. But once you start to understand it, YouTube get paid by you putting out content and putting advertising to you.
Is it daily? It's got to be obviously daily.
No, so the thing is about you have to be. So it's basically it's just consistency, because you can have a mad following, and if you don't put out stuff for time, when you try to post again, the views won't come in like that, right?
Yeah. It's gotta be consistent,
Someone can have bigger following than you, So you can have a bigger following than someone, they can have way less than you, but they'll earn more than you because their audience engages, right?
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people who a lot of people in podcasting, they don't look to the bag. YouTube has the best framework for getting paid. Spotify, TikTok, Instagram, all these things, cool, but YouTube has the best framework for getting to the bag. And when you meet proper YouTubers, they'll let you know this, innit? So I'm saying to you. And then a lot of times you see YouTubers, they'll travel the world. You see them, quick. It's because what they've done is they've made a lot of content now. Now they've got the residual passive. So like royalties, innit? So your old school videos are making you a certain amount of money. So then they'll tend to go to these countries where, like South, they go like Singapore, they go like Thailand, they go Brazil. Like places where the pound is strong and the dollar's strong. So now you're getting paid in dollars, from YouTube, plus your super chat. So now you're getting paid monthly in a country where the currency, how much money are you actually on now? So a lot of YouTubers, if let's say you're making $5 a month from YouTube, but now you go to Jamaica, how much is that in Jamaica? $5,000 American dollars. Get me, if you go to Africa, francs, I'm from Cameroon. Okay, you're a millionaire, right? So in my country as well, like, so let's say £1,000 a million, £1,000, this is a million francs, Where you from? Sorry, Cameroon. 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 Yeah. No, that's fine. It's cool. But that, even if I was making $5,000 in this country, that's cool. Take that to South America. Take that, bro. You're not now what you do is you go around making content in that community. You know what I'm saying? Now you go around make content. Now you start doing travel. You start interviewing. You know these things that people do. And now you start and there you go. So you got the pattern. A lot, and this is only because a year I've been here and I just started learning and the thing. So then I'll take this information and I'll go and funnel it back to the smaller podcasts, to people, and I'll give it to them and I'll give it for free, bro. And I'll be like, yo,
I have to rate that because a lot of these big podcasts, they kind of like huddle community.
I know, bro.
There's a lot of them.
Crabs in a branch out. You got to really branch out.
And I've heard some stories about some podcasts and like how they treat some of the people that have been paid there. It's crazy.
This is what we do. This is what we do. We build your own. Shout out to Pearl. They say a lot about Pearl. But one thing I will say about her, she told me to build my own. She showed me a lot of the back end of YouTube, stuff that I've now gone and empowered other women, especially black women in my community. The stuff I'm saying now, you should be having your pen out right now. No, you should. Like, you get me? The stuff I'm saying right now is you pay for this. Pearl charges people for this information. Like people go to her because she's got almost 2 million subscribers. You don't get that in a year. Do you get me? You know what I'm saying? So when I come and say it on your platform to my black sister, to my community, understand this. We're empowering us by doing this. I monetize. So if I come on a platform now, I'll say to people, cool, I'll come on your platform. I won't charge you for coming on the platform, but I'll use the content. I'm on equal yoke. So I can get monetized off the content. So I'll come and I'll sit on your platform, but then I'll put that. So you can share it, I'll put it into things, and then everyone benefits from the actual thing.
It's about building, isn't it? We're building together, definitely.
So when they say I don't like, when they say, oh, he doesn't like women, how can I not like women when I just come and giving you the game? Like, do you understand? But you got to remember the men that they'll have you supporting the people that have the worst intentions for you. The men that tell you the prize, the men that tell you that having kids doesn't matter, the men that tell you the
hell out of you.
They are the ones that are going to leave you high and dry. But the men that, and this is why I say women love liars and cheaters, because whenever men tell, because whenever you tell, you say not all men. I know it's not all men. So I know
we've got to wrap up soon.
So, and because the men that are honest to you never like the honesty. You want the men that are going to lie to you.
I don't like liars.
But a lie is but a comfort to a fool, right?
No, I don't like liars.
No, what I'm saying.
Even if it was to hurt me, I'd rather someone just tell me the truth.
You're like a rare.
You're rare, bro.
So just tell me the truth. Obviously, it's you want someone that's to be real with you, innit? Like, man.
These liars win.
100%, man.
I can't be around anyone that can't keep it 100. You see what I mean? I can't, seriously. Like, that's what I'm saying. When I see stuff that like you put up here, I actually laugh. I actually jump on your stuff is really funny.
No, I mean,
but I know that you don't mean it in like a demeaning way, like you're trying to just at people. You're just saying it's just you just like what you like, your preference. Listen, I can never. What it is. Just strong opinions. People just can't handle.
Do you know what it is?
Some people can't handle a strong man with strong views and opinions.
Because we're in 2023.
When I saw him, I said I need to get you.
We're in 2023, and they've told people that you can be a zebra and a giraffe.
Facts.
But I'm telling you, you're not a zebra and giraffe. I don't care what you tell me. But they're like, no, it's a zebra and giraffe. I come from a time when people couldn't be zebra and giraffes. And so if you try to tell me a zebra, I'm going to tell you you're not. And then people are going to be like, oh my God, he's so radical for being able to see that she's not a zebra and giraffe. You can see it too, but you won't say it. I'm not radical. I'm not. Do you get me?
They call him Dennis the Menace.
Yeah, no, because it's not radical. Like, how is it radical to look outside and the sky is blue and to say the sky is blue, but everyone tells you it's green? Like,
exactly.
So all of a sudden now they're, oh my God, he can see into the future. No, I'm just being honest, and everyone's pretending. And we live in a world where society is literally going to try to. You just got to remember the agendas at play. We don't have to there's multiple agendas at play, but whenever you cannot say something for what it is, I don't know a lot of people. Like, I've been to university. I'm educated to quite high standard, right? I got a degree, a 2-1. Doesn't matter. And the reason I say this is not because if you haven't been to university, you're not smart. It's because I have written a 10,000 word dissertation thesis. I have used bibliography reference points, right? Primary, secondary, tertiary. I've done it, right? I know how to reference. When I go and do my podcast, I have referenced everything. I got stats that people will look at, man, and think they won't know. And the reason why I say this is because I want people to understand that, well, like, when you say something to me, I'm not talking because I don't. Like, I'm literally going through it. Like, I'm processing it. Something. I've been educated. So because I've been educated, I'm gonna ask you stuff in a certain way. Okay.
So yes, that was a very insightful and amazing conversation. Okay, so last minute, like, messages for anyone, and tag you lots things. So
yeah, man, it was deep. Thanks for having me. You know, you find me on all platforms, Vigga V TV. And the one thing I'd say, the advice to everyone is that if you want to buy a house now, your credit needs to be good. Same way for women, obviously, you want to get into the property industry. You need to make sure that the credit is decent, because you can't buy a house. And that's what it comes down to.
Bro, when you started doing that, I was like, wait, did I miss it? No, because I was like, maybe the first half was about investment and I missed something. I like that. Yeah, man. My name is Chyna, I'm the man of the voice. Make sure you check me out on YouTube, Instagram, subscribe. Like I said, subscribe to my YouTube, turn on notification bells. For me, it's like, I just want to create content. I believe primarily I'm here for men first. I want better results for men, but better results for men equate to better results for women. And those results equate better results for the family, for the children. And that goes for the local community, then society, then for the country, then for the world.
For the world.
And I like to say I'm doing God's work, right? So essentially, like, that's what it is. And I think, thank you for having me on the platform. I always appreciate when people have me on the platform. Shout out to Vigga V TV as well. Obviously, I've seen them on social, so it's good to touch base.
Doing God's work, brother.
Thank you, bro. And to all the content creators, and to all the women out there, and to all the young men out there, like, the content that we make is for you. It's so you can consume it. It doesn't mean that it's the only way you need to do something, but it's to give you a framework, or at least a type of guide to kind of get you to somewhere, right? So we just, we thank you, Tan, for having me on.
Thank you both for being like, it's been amazing. It's been amazing. And my message is to anything that you want to do, go and do it. There's no one that can stop you. If you want to do a podcast, you want to sing in, song, anything.
Facts.
You can do it. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't do what you want to do.
Especially jealous friends.
Yes. And you can,
we hate them jealous friends, them jealous ass friends, man.
You can find me at GlamzTan or at the Talk Real Podcast. This is Tans signing out. Thank you. Bye.